All right, guys. Jackson Wilkie here with Ground Up House Flipping. Last week, I had to pull my house flip off of the market, and I got in touch with the foundation company. They brought a bunch of concrete out there. They're going to level that bad boy, and I also was getting quotes on getting my front walkway fixed because that baby is leaning too. So if you watched last episode, you know all of this, but a lot has changed. Therefore, I've got a massive problem that I've got to fix. And instead of recording all of it and making this crazy video, I'm just basically going to try and solve it live in front of you guys. So what happened was I thought I had it all figured out. I was going to get the back room leveled. It was going to cost $1,850. So here's the message that I got just to show that. So yes, sir, I'll send the quote by today, but it's $1,850. Do you guys see that on the second line there? And so I said, you know, in the green, okay, are you going to use self-leveler or concrete? And they said concrete. The self-leveler will break. And you also see a price down there for $3,000. Anyways, things changed. So I went there actually about 5 days ago, and they had all of the carpet rolled back, peeled back, and they had about 30 bags of concrete there. And I was pretty excited, to be honest, because we were going to get a really nice flat, and I was interested to see how they were going to drill through the concrete, put in rebar, whatever they were going to do. But they didn't show up right then. They just dropped off material, and then my daughter had something at her school. She was sick. She needed something. So I had to drive an hour and 15 minutes back. I couldn't see what they were going to do. So I'm texting them, hey, you know, are you done? Are you done? And I didn't get anything for a couple days. And then I get a phone call. In fact, I get two of them here. The red one there, let's see if see how it missed two of them. So I'm like, oh, I think I know that number. That's the guy who texted me with the quote. And I'm like, cool, they're probably done with this thing. I wasn't around my camera. I wasn't able to record it. But what transpired was basically, hey, we tried to do the work. The guys are there. But they said that, you know, if they go in there now that they have the carpet removed and they do this concrete in there, that over time it's just going to settle more and it's going to crack and it's going to break. And I'm like, well, Shito, what do you mean? Like, didn't you guys give me a quote? So I'm like on the phone, I'm like, you guys gave me a quote and I asked you if you could do this and you said yes. And he goes, I know, but the guys took a better look at it and they can't do that. So here's what they're going to do. They'll just go in there and they'll break out all of that concrete and then they will just pour a fresh slab. And I'm like, hold the phone, broski, because don't you guys remember? I'm like, first of all, how much is that going to cost? And he said $3,500. And I'm like, so now I'm up to $3,500 and I got to get an all new slab in there. But you guys went there and did a quote saying that you could fix it. What happened to that? He goes, yes, I know, but like I told you, we looked into it a little bit more. It's not going to happen. I'm like, well, you guys recommended at the beginning when I had you come out that all you needed to do was break 3 big holes, put in piers, and basically that thing would be sturdy as can be. But why would you recommend that if you knew that you couldn't put self-leveler? Because they said, I called them back up. Am I making sense here? So what happened was they came out and they braced it all. Then I went to check on it and it was sloped in the middle. And I'm like, I thought you guys were going to fix this foundation. And they go, well, we don't level it. We just support it. Now, I'm not bashing on the company. They are amazing. They work quickly. They're very effective. He's texting me right now. So I'm going to have some, oh shit. Why? I think that's the wrong, oh God. Maybe that's the old pictures. I said, do you have any pictures of it with the carpet pulled up? Because I didn't take one. Well, that's fine. That's not. I think that's from when they originally did the work. I don't know. I'm going to text him real quick. That's from before when you put in the support, right? There's no way they did that. Okay. Again, like I said, I'm going to do this whole thing live. Okay? So you guys are going to get this. And the reason I wanted to do this is because as a new flipper, I mean, these are the things that you're solving. Like I went from, you know, an hour ago of what in the hell do I do to I think I might have a plan. And it's funny because now I look into this and I'm like, oh man, I remember walking that with the listing agent and we were both talking about, man, you can feel that slope. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to call my contractor. We need to get that fixed. And he's like, oh, I got it. We'll self-level it. And it didn't. Like, I think he put a bag of self-leveler in there and it just didn't do anything, right? And I didn't check it anymore. It's totally my fault. But at the end of the day, I took the word that it was fixed. It was not. Okay, he said yes. Thank goodness. Okay, that is from before. So I've got to fix this now because we've got that issue. So that threw me off a little bit. But here's what happened. They said it's going to cost $3,500 to break it out, level it. And I was like, all right. I also got a quote. Let me pull that up. So I had a handyman go over there to just build me a front walkway out of wood, right? Just a cheap, because you know, you walk up and it's slanted, you know, it's slanted down. I'm going to actually bring up pictures because I have to send those in to what I'm about to do. But here is the quote that I got right here. And right there's the quote. Hello, good morning. I leave you the estimate just for the labor. I can charge you $2,100 for both sides. The deck will be made with posts underground, so my work is guaranteed. It's the only way it'll be strong. Okay, how much is the material and how much just for the front walkway? Just the front walkway, $1,350. So $1,350 to build a deck. And he kind of like finger drew that in there. So labor cost. And I'm like, okay, what about the, you know, how much for the labor and all that? We were kind of going back and forth, nothing really relevant. And he goes, let me go tomorrow morning and I'll do that. So he texts me and says, this afternoon I will go to Home Depot, you know, whatever. So then this is what he said. Hello, good morning. This is an estimate. I'll get it up. This is an estimate of the approximation of the regarding materials, $1,205. So quick math, that is what, $1,350 did I say, or 13? Yeah, $1,350, and we got $1,205. So you're at $2,505 just to build a front walkway. And I'm like, so I'm $2,500 there, and I'm $3,500 to break out and redo the concrete in the bonus room. That is $6,000 more dollars that I don't really have or want to spend, right? So first of all, that kind of just hits you and you're just like, son of a bitch. Like, I'm sorry, it is like, you know, it's just one of them when it rains it pours type of thing. And so I was sitting there and I kind of just, it was right, I was eating some lunch and I'm hanging out, now I'm talking to my wife and we're both kind of like, you know, it's stressful, you know? So I'm like, she's like, what, you're not saying nothing? And I'm like, I might just go build this damn thing myself. Like, I have done a lot of construction in my days. In fact, I haven't flipped houses, but a few of the houses that I have lived in personally, I've done all the work for. So I'm pretty handy in that. I grew up in North Idaho. I did a lot of construction, so I'm just like, but driving an hour and 15 minutes, measuring it all out, going to the store, building this damn, like busting out some concrete. I don't want to do that, nor do I have the time to do that. So I was like, man, what about the spray foam stuff, you know? And I'm hoping somebody in this audience has used it before. I have some doubts about it, but this is where my search led me to. So I started just doing a bunch of research on self-leveling and with the spray foam, right? And I'm also gonna pull up, because I posted it to a couple real estate investor groups, which I think you guys should be doing too, you know? And I really didn't get much on it. I'm actually gonna pull that up as well so you guys can see what I wrote. In fact, I'll just go, hold on, let me look at my name here, Jackson, there we go. So I got one comment and it just says, use a reputable company, most fly-by-nighters. The foam only lasts 3 to 4 months. Level check, Austin Gory, you know, was a name that he gave me. But I went to one other Facebook group and they were like, yeah, I've used it. Make sure it's reputable. So I went to Google and I'm like, all right, let's see what we can find. So I started just doing a bunch of like first, and I have the company up now because I did all the research and I don't need to show that. But I found this one here and I was looking for a few things. Now, I don't know how you guys search for things, but I was like, when I first did concrete leveling, it was just boom, add, and I would go to those sites and they are perfect and it's quote and this and that, and the reviews were good, but it wasn't like a Google My Business page. It was just, so what I think that is kind of like a general, hey, do all your quotes here, we're the main company, and then we're gonna farm it out to another company here and we're gonna take the difference, right? I wanted somebody local and I wanted to read some reviews, and I found this company in like, it shows it's in kind of like South Houston, Southeast Houston, 74.9 star Google reviews. And I'm like, damn, dude, this is awesome. And every one of them was just like, hey, they are on the spot. They answer quickly. They're very fair. Their prices are amazing. All the pictures. And I'm like, that seems cool. So I called the number and it's like, ring, ring, ring. Hello, what's up, man? This is Alex. And I'm like, no way, dude. Anyways, I talked to him and I didn't have my camera on and I really wish I did because it was really cool. And I said, hey, I've got a front walkway that needs leveling. He's like, cool. Yep, we totally can do that as long as it's not looking like broken glass and all shattered. And I was like, I got a weird question for you. I have a bonus room off the back, and it's sunk in the middle, and basically a foundation company came in and they were gonna level it, but they said they can't do that and they were gonna bust it out. I was like, first of all, have you ever done inside of a house or bonus rooms? He goes, dude, we do it all the time. He goes, did you fail an inspection or something? Are you in real estate? I'm like, no, I haven't yet. It hasn't sold, but I need to get it flat before I relist it. I had to pull it off the market. He goes, yep. He goes, it happens all the time. It's a back bonus room. He goes, people typically pour those. They're usually not that thick. They might only be 3 inches thick or whatever, and you'll see them settle over time. And he goes, we do it as long as it's in pretty decent shape, the concrete, then we can do it. And so I was like, man, I'm still kind of a little iffy on it. But he goes, nope, we can take a look. He goes, I'm actually going right now, believe it or not, to go to a huge warehouse, like super heavy duty. We're going inside and we're going to level some concrete in there. It's a huge job. So I'm kind of like, okay, if they're doing that. Now, I'm not saying, oh, it's a home run. They can go in and level mine. Mine might have some issues with it. I don't really know, but what I'm going to do is submit everything today, and then early next week I should be hearing back. I also went to, like, Chat GPT. I like to ask AI a lot of questions, and I went to Gemini and I said, I have an investment property and the back bonus room concrete slab is settled in the middle a bit. I talked to a concrete leveling company that uses polyurethane foam, and they said that they can level the concrete if it's in okay shape. I want you to act like a professional concrete leveler and let me know if the job is doable and sturdy. Now, should I be taking advice from an AI? No, but what this does, if you've never used it, is it's going to go through and scan a bunch of different companies and reviews and websites and let you know, right? And I just wanted to see it. And so as a professional concrete leveler, I can offer you the following information on whether polyurethane foam injection is viable and sturdy solution for leveling your bonus room. Feasible, slab condition, if the concrete slab is structurally sound, and this is probably most likely pulling from FAQs, from websites, and it's not severe, that the foam injection is typically a suitable option. The foam can fill voids beneath the slab and lift it back into place without the need for extensive evacuation. So I think at this point, I need him to go check it out, but it sounds as if if the concrete is in pretty decent shape. I actually went and watched a ton of his videos. I'm really hoping that this does work and I can interview him, and kind of watch the process too. And for all of you local, Houstonians, we might have the most solid concrete level. So I do think you're gonna go through all this with me. My front porch should be no problem for him. So we can level that. The bonus room, I'm going to send him some stuff. So the one thing that they're talking about, and that one guy said is like that replied is just get a reputable company. But, this is what I also liked as well. When I went to their website, again, you could tell he's a local guy. He answered immediately. The reviews are just super impressive. But I was reading actually some of this stuff. If you have sunken, cracked concrete, whatever. The cost. Oh, I'm going to tell you what it's cost. I don't have a bid for mine yet, but this is like my walkway, like these big leveling. And the other thing is it pulled away from my house, and I watched a bunch of his videos, and they can actually pick up that concrete and kind of shift it back over into place too as well. But they drill minimal holes. And then this is where I figured out they use high density polyurethane injection, and it's used for concrete lifting, stabilization, void filling, and it's preferred by contractors. So it's very strong, and some of the other research I did says it lasts pretty long. I'm going on pretty far about this, but at the end of the day, I think this could be something that may save me a lot of money and make things look really, really good. So the other thing I wanted to show was the cost. So it is safe to say that most bids are around $6 to $9 a foot, not including the labor. So I went ahead and wrote that down too, because he told me that on the phone first. He goes, it's gonna be about $6 to $9 a foot. Now, what I want to do, let's do this real quick. I'm gonna submit all this to him, and then he's gonna give me a bid. So I don't have any like pictures, but thank God I got a YouTube channel where I have been documenting house flipping from the ground up. That's why we called it that. I have documented everything for over a year now, and if you guys like that kind of content, or you want to learn from an actual rookie or newer house flipper, mistakes like this and how to solve them, I would really highly suggest that you are subscribing, because you're not going to find content like this out there anywhere else, and it's all free, homies. But here's my first 30 videos. Here's a bunch of these other videos I've got. And I was trying to remember, where do I have like pictures of everything? And I remember when I went there, You know what's crazy is I went through, I was going through I'm like, oh my gosh, this flip, you know, it's one of those, you hear like the horror stories where it just keeps getting hit, boom, boom. This is one of them flips, man. It just won't stop. So update, this is where I have it all uncovered. Man, I was going through this, guys. I don't know, and if you haven't seen these videos, you can go back and watch them. We peeled off all there's the walkway right there. I can take a picture of that. I think there's a better one farther back. But this is when they were spraying for termites, and I was going through this. I'm like, oh my goodness. I forgot how bad this termite damage was. So there's the bonus room there. I'm gonna take some pictures of that, and I'm just gonna screenshot it. I feel like the more pictures and stuff I give him, because he's like, hey, we're a little busy, but if you give me a lot of good information, we might be able to move on this quicker. So I kind of want to go above and beyond. This is them spraying. There we go. Man, I had to replace all this stuff. Isn't that crazy what those termites do? It's scary. So we ended up fixing all of it. That's, again, it was another pretty large cost.
To who?
To me, Siri. Don't you be talking to me, Siri. Okay, so let's go through this, and I'm gonna snag some pictures where they can get kind of a good idea of the size that we're working with here. So I gotta find this. You guys are live with me. This is what I'm doing because I don't have a bunch of pictures. I think, good thing I video everything, right? Okay, here we go. So I'm just gonna screenshot these. I hit Shift Command 4 for anybody who needs to know. I do that on a Mac. There's one, here's the other angle. See, and that's what kind of ticks me off because I already had to pay, what was it, it was either 800 or 1200. I know I've used them twice, and all I did was brace it. I never would have paid that. I never would have done that if they're like, well, yeah, you can't do anything once we level it. Like, that's the only thing that kind of ticks me off because they came in after like, no, we just support it. Now you go in there and level it. But I hired them, their company, to go in and level it, and now they're saying that they can't. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like, I don't know. And that's the thing. Now going into house flipping, if I feel lumps, you know, that kind of stuff, I'm not going to just be like, oh, can't do it. You know, I'm going to be like, all right, here's what we probably got to do. I either got to break this thing out, or the first call I'm making is the homeboy with the self-leveler and going, hey, can you level this, and how much would it cost? Because that's all going to factor into my, you know, into my, what I offer, you know, for these houses. So the only other thing I was trying to find is kind of a bigger picture of the walkway and that bonus room. And I think I have some more where we go into the bonus room because I need to figure out about the square foot. I don't know exactly. There we go. Perfect right there. So I have all of that. The last thing I need is the walkway. And I know I got some kind. I think it was when I was listing. Yeah, I think I'll be able to score it right here. You guys are all like, yeah, I remember watching this. Man, the flip looks amazing too. And I mean, to get that many showings, it turned out great. There we go. Money. Yeah, a lot of the reviews and stuff I saw, a lot of the pictures, it looked like this. But the good news is he goes, if it's solid, you know, not, I mean, all these chunks are solid. So I think, in theory, they should be not only able to lift this up and raise it up, they'll be able to tighten it a little bit, like get it up against the curb here. And then this is broken away here. So get it up tighter against the foundation. And so with that, the other thing I want to look at, just so me and you and everybody here, I have my stuff all saved, flips, shore acres, survey. Okay, so here's the survey. Let's see how big about this is. So my guess is right here, this wall inside the garage is 23.7 feet, plus this maybe 5 more feet, 5 or 6. So I think it's probably going to be easiest to call it 30 feet by probably 4 feet, give or take. So 30 by 4, if I go calc and I go 30, obviously, you know, it's going to be, well, I was going to write or say 20, but 30 times 4 feet is 120. $6 to $9 a foot. That's labor, so cost. I'll go on the high end, even though I think that one's probably easy. So it's $1,000. I was quoted at $2,550, so $2,600 for a new wooden deck, where hopefully for $1,000 or less, I can get the walkway leveled up, right? Then that back area, I am guessing, since this whole wall is 40 feet, and I think the bonus room, and then that's what I was like looking at. Okay, so if I go here and I count studs, I wish I had the exact measurement. I don't, but I've got 16-inch on center studs. So basically there's 16. We got a doorway that's probably 30, but it's framed 36. So we're probably at 4 feet just from corner to the edge of here. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got 7 times 16, give or take, is 112. And then we got, what did I say, 5 feet times 12 is 60, 172 divided by 12 inches. So it's about 14 feet. I think it's probably, yeah, 12 or 14. And then I'm going to say it's 24 feet. I know it's longer than it is the kitchen wide. So we're going to go about 14, just to go long, 14 by 24. 336 square feet times 9 is $3,000. So that might be about the same price as doing the concrete. I don't know if they got to level the full 336 square feet, right? So the other thing is $3 to $6. Maybe for some reason, what was it? 332 times 6. Again, I got to play both cases, 1992. So I'm going to add up all the stuff. I'm going to send these pictures over to him. And if I do some kind of combo deal at the front and that, maybe they give me a good price on it. And right now I'm looking at $6,000. So anything that I can shave off of that would be a lot better. So I am going to actually just text him all these pictures, or you can submit them to his site, he said, but I couldn't find where you could submit them. All right, so the next thing I wanted to do real quick with y'all on here, I submitted all that stuff over to him, and I will in a future video, probably the next video, go over if they can or can't do that. And I think that's probably going to be a huge deal for you guys, if they can too, to find somebody local. Again, I think it's just all progression and steps of, gaining one, confidence, but two, gaining the contractors for all of these little things. Just like, now I got a broken glass window guy. I've got a really, really good but cheap electrician that I found. Actually, I don't even know if I've highlighted him on this channel, but I found him at one point. He comes in cash and does an amazing job, and he's got a license. But I was checking out some of these. It's just remarkable, what they can do. This is like a minimal one right here. But look at that. I mean, they're coming up inches on that stuff, all the way up under there. That had to have been 6 inches it came up. So my whole thing was like, can it hold sturdy? And look at this. Unbelievable. That's a driveway that you're going to be parking multiple vehicles on. More than somebody walking through a... See that? And then they put that seam in there. Smooth as can be. I probably should have done it for my driveway when it looked like crap. But mine was way, way, way too haggard. But I'm hoping that maybe they can do this with mine. It just kind of shows you, this is an illustration, obviously. And you got to make sure it's all the right stuff. But I think, man, look at that. See how it pulled away right there too? I want to go watch this so bad. I know they can do my walkway. At least I'm pretty sure. Dude, and then there's guys doing it spray foam cans. I would not highly recommend that. All right, so I'm going to wait. I have sent all that off. Again, he's had a big job, but I got a couple more things to actually tell you guys. First of all, if you are liking this content, again, hit the like button. That is what helps me, and consider subscribing so that you can follow along with your boy, the new rookie house flipper. So real quick, let's do something. If you haven't seen it yet, we've had probably 100+ people reach out to get connected to a hard money lender. So we've got it up and running now, gethardmoney.com. Me and Hard Money Joe built this. Again, it doesn't cost you a dime, not a penny. And so you just go ahead and get started. And so submit your information. This is the only way that we could do it, and keep it all organized. So what this does is it goes directly to Hard Money Joe, and then he pays a lot of money to be in these hard money masterminds. So the thing that you really want to avoid, it's like, and if you're new to my channel, you probably haven't seen it, but I have documented from day one a house flipping business. So if you go to video 1 and watch it all the way through, I didn't even have an LLC set up yet. I didn't even know how to get hard money, nothing to where I'm at today. But I also interview some other flippers, which I think I'm going to do some more here soon. And I was talking to Kirk just a couple weeks ago, and he said his first house flip he did with a national brand house or hard money flipping company, lender. And he's like, dude, it was miserable. And I don't know if I caught it on camera or not, but off the camera, he's like, it was the worst. He goes, literally, I talked to 15 different people throughout the loan. I didn't even know who I was talking to. It took forever to get the money, and the draw process are brutal, and I have nobody to talk to. So he goes, I watched your channel, and I was following everything you were doing so that I don't make your mistakes. And he goes, that's when I heard about Hard Money Joe, because he's local here in Houston. So he hit him up, and Joe did his other 2 loans, and he's like, it's just life-changing, because Hard Money Joe comes to our properties with us. He walks them. He's done 100 flips in his day. He's wholesaled in his day. So now you have this resource, right? Like, I'm texting him about this whole project, you know, and he's helping with it. So you need to have that connection, but you can't go. He just literally texted me, guys. This is crazy. Come on with it. Joe, Spark Lending. And anyways, you want that local connection. So if you're somebody maybe who's flipped a property or 2, or you haven't even started yet, but you really want to, the number one thing that you need to do is find that hard money lender who is local to you and has a little bit of experience, because they're going to go through the numbers. They're going to tell you if it's a good deal or not. Take the emotions out of it, right? So again, just to show you guys, go to gethardmoney.com and then just fill this out. Now, the other resource that I want to show you, because we're going to add it to this, it's just going to be a free website for you guys. We want to connect you with the hard money lender in your market to get you going. But if you go right here for now until we get it on there, you can go to sparklending.com. All of this is down in my description, by the way, so just go down there. But sparklending.com/cash-calculator. And this is where you can start plugging in numbers. So the cool thing is you can go through Facebook Marketplace or wherever you're finding deals, and you can start plugging all the numbers into here. And then you can see how much out of pocket it's going to cost you, what the monthly payments are going to be. And that way you can start kind of judging how much money you need to get into flipping, or what that deal potentially looks like. And even better news, Hard Money Joe is working on his own personal flip calculator. So he's got it in a spreadsheet right now, which is pretty cool, but he's going to get it digi something into the site. So gethardmoney.com will be a website with the cash calculator, flip calculator, and free connection to a hard money lender, all free to you homies. That's my goal with this, is literally just documenting my house flipping business. I've made some great connections through this channel from some of you, you flippers and people. So, for me, it helps me get more resources as well. So all that's going to be coming here in the near future, as well as the flip calculator. So these are things that you can do with your hard money lender. And if you need to, that's the best video ever. Hard Money Joe, for the past 14 years, was a wholesaler for 5 to 6 years, was a house flipper for 5 to 6 years, and now is a hard money lender, and he's done over 100 flips. He walks a property, tells you everything that can go right or wrong. He breaks down the budget. He breaks down the cost. If you want a $500,000 house flipping course for free, that's the best video, and you can read the comments. This is the best video. Check it out, homies.